Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio.
Zaron!
Yo, Elizabeth
Hey.
Dutton.
How are
My
you?
favorite Elizabeth.
How's your heart?
My heart is good.
Wait, I'm your favorite Elizabeth?
Yeah, you're my second favorite Dutton.
What about the dead queen?
No offense.
I know, everyone's favorite Dutton is Travis Dutton.
No, your nephew.
Oh, he's
technically...
He's my favorite
Yeah.
Dutton. But I tell you, my brother, Travis, he's a big draw.
Yeah, he is. I mean,
Everybody loves
You got
him.
a lot of really stunning, attractive, like magnetic
But
Duttons.
for a long time in my life, I was always Travis's sister.
Oh, right.
Anywhere you get, you're Travis's sister.
Yeah, my sister tells me about how that was. She was considered Zaron's sister. Like, oh, hey, little Burnett. It's like the whole thing. Like, that must suck.
Well, this is like you go to a show, you go to like see a band play, and you're like,
like,
hey,
hey.
you're Travis's sister. Yeah.
I have a name.
No, I don't. Travis's sister. Anyway, you know what's ridiculous?
I do, Elizabeth. Now, out here in the West Coast, and I'm including like Northern California in this, Oregon,
Sure.
Washington as when I'm talking about
Cascadia.
Cascadia, thank you. We have something with Bigfoot. A lot of these states all have
something going on.
Bigfoot sightings, right? So you don't think of it, at least we don't out here think of it, that they also have that in other places, like in the South and in like the upper Midwest, like Michigan and so forth, but it's also in New York.
Really?
Yes, Western Massachusetts and New York, they also have crazy Bigfoot sightings, and there are towns that have like whole like dedications to Bigfoot.
And they call it Bigfoot.
They call it Sasquatch out in Whitehall, New
Oh,
York.
okay.
And in Whitehall, New York, they have a Sasquatch calling contest.
Oh, you're kidding.
So people line up. In this case, it was 60 contestants, and they have the judges turn around so they cannot see the contestants. And the contestants then do their best Bigfoot call or Sasquatch call at the judges or at the crowd.
And they
either
know
one.
they know what a Sasquatch sounds
Nobody
like.
does.
Oh,
People like some
so
people.
it could be anything.
Some people will tell you they've recorded one, but you don't know. And then other people will just hear stuff in the woods and ask people from Appalachia. You're going to hear stuff in the woods, right?
Yeah, a fox will mess you up.
Exactly.
Or out here, a coyote.
The coyote, same thing. The yelping and saying your name in the wind. Just like, who is that? How do you know my name? So they do their fake Bigfoot Sasquatch calls, and then they announce a winner.
Okay.
Right? Now, these people, in this town, they all gather in a park, and they got like the food trucks and the vendor tables. It's like a whole festival. And these people, 60 people, one of these contestants was described as, quote, a steampunk Sasquatch hunter.
Oh, of course.
I just
Wait,
love
no,
that combination
it's
of
a new
words.
day for Elizabeth. I'm not going to be. I love that for them.
Okay, how about a ventriloquist?
Love it.
Who's got a puppet that's called Littlefoot?
I love it. I love it. You stop it. I love it. I love it.
The winner had a crazy call, and I won't do an impression of it.
Do they sound like Chewbacca?
Most of them sound something like Chewbacca, except for this one woman who went out there. She had like a tutu on and like fairy like clothing, and she just screamed at the judges.
I love it for her.
She turned around and screamed at the backs of the judges, where you could see them like wincing and stuff. Like, oh my God, she's screaming at me.
I
it
love
went on
that.
a long
I love that,
time.
and I'm happy for her.
There you go, Elizabeth. I thought it was ridiculous that they named a winner of the Sasquatch call contest.
Yeah.
And we can probably put it up on Instagram, right? I
We'll
can
try.
give you a Facebook link for it.
Yeah,
and then you can
that's the interns.
Yeah, you can get a video to the interns and maybe they'll put it up. I don't know. But the winner was this guy named Grant Kennedy. So congratulations to
Good job,
Grant Kennedy, named after 2 U.S. presidents.
That means something.
And the most interesting about him is he wins the Sasquatch call contest.
I love that for everyone
Whitehall,
there.
New York.
I'm so happy for them.
Yes.
I just white knuckled it through all those descriptions. Do you want to know what else is ridiculous?
I do, Elizabeth.
Pizza.
What?
This is Ridiculous Crime, a podcast about absurd and outrageous capers, heists, and cons. It's always 99% murder-free and 100% ridiculous.
You damn right.
Are you okay?
I had to run back.
Something I love to do
is
speculate as to whether a business is a front for money laundering or not.
You do that.
I do love that. Of course, the all-time classic, mattress stores.
Mattress stores.
Yeah.
Oh,
haven't
of
you heard
course.
that?
Oh, yeah.
There are conspiracy theories just like they abound online about how
nobody's ever in them.
Yeah, that they're only in business to wash money or like be a front because they're not very far from each other. Like sometimes they're like within a couple blocks.
Oh, yeah. And like, are we really buying that many mattresses?
Right.
And now they're all online and people are buying them. They show up in boxes. Like, who's still going to a mattress store?
Recently and it came in a box and then it just grew and grew.
Have you seen the videos where they like hurt people when they pop out of the boxes? People get flung out of windows and stuff. It's amazing.
I kind of thought that might happen, but sadly,
you didn't have no injuries.
No. But so there are all these conspiracy theories about mattress stores. I'm a sucker for a good conspiracy theory like that.
I know you are.
I am. Although I should be careful what I say because my Instagram algorithm is like rife with a certain conspiracy theory right now. I won't get into which one.
And Instagram is listening.
I know. And so I see a lot of reels parsing footage and facts or like lack of facts.
Oh, you're inundated,
and then I made the mistake of watching a couple of them out of like morbid curiosity.
Now you're...
And then I started getting like much darker, more offensive conspiracy theory reels. Like the world's a sick place, Zaron, and social media is even sicker. So anyway, business fronts. There are storefronts that don't see much foot traffic and don't seem to sell anything in like high demand.
Sure.
Wig shops. Some antique stores.
Yeah.
Food places that either like never seem to be open or they never have anyone in them.
Also a lot of florists.
Florists, yep. I was reading recently on my favorite website, Reddit, about just this very thing. After I wrote this outline, then I saw it, asking about, have you seen any, like, what business have you seen that you think are fronts?
Money laundering.
And someone talked about a 24-hour florist.
Really? See, I'm telling you.
Smart
then, cat, that person.
It is dependent on like the shopping district. So in a small rural town, there's a likelihood that the owner of the shop like owns the building.
Yeah. Taxes
are low. It could be like a hobby or a write-off. In higher cost of living areas or one with like more foot traffic, some of the shops are just inexplicable.
Totally, like my typewriter repair guy.
Yes, that guy. Have you ever been into a restaurant where you think it might have been a front?
Have I? So I'm usually surprised when I'm not having that thought because I go to a lot of places where there aren't people. And I'm like, oh, hey, it's just me and the chef and the one waitress. And I'm like, how are they? I've been here for 3 hours. How are they staying open?
And the menu is like written in pencil on a paper taped to the wall.
I love those places. I seek them out. Then I go back again.
But see, some of those places, it's like, it's either going to be the worst meal of your life and kill you or the best, all-time best.
Because it's a money laundering front. They got nothing to do. Yeah. They make a great meal.
Yeah, exactly. Well, today I have the story of a restaurant that was a front. Ooh. And even better, it involves two of your favorite elements of crime stories.
Really?
Drugs.
Okay.
And the mafia.
Oh my goodness.
I know. So let's start off with our main character, Gaetano Badalamenti.
What a great name.
Yeah. Known as Dontano Badalamenti.
Gentano Dontano?
Yeah. It was Tano, but he was like Dontano.
I got you. It's a nickname, Dontano.
He was the capofamiglia of his hometown in Cinisi, Sicily.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was
legit.
The head of the Sicilian Mafia Commission in the 70s. Big dog.
Okay.
Grosso cane.
Yes.
Yeah. So Badalamenti, he was born in 1923, the youngest in his immediate family, 5 boys, 4 girls. And the family, they were dairy farmers. So he dropped out of school when he was 10 to work at the dairy.
Okay.
In 1941, he got drafted into the Royal Italian Army, but he deserted during the Allied invasion of Sicily in 1943.
To protect the dairy?
Good on him. No, he was just like, this is my chance. This. Yeah. He's like,
fog of war.
Mussolini, who?
Yeah.
He's not from the north. They love Mussolini.
It's true, yeah.
So he married this woman, Teresa Vitali. And this was a big deal because her sister was married to Filippo Rimi. Rimi was the capo mafia of Alcamo.
Okay, I think I've come across that name.
Yeah, so Tano, he starts a lemon grove.
Okay.
And he was able to kind of like dodge some legal trouble that he'd gotten into. And before long, he ditched the lemons and he started a construction business. And he supplied crushed rock for the Palermo Punta Resi airport.
He got into concrete.
Yeah, and he bribed officials to have the airport built near his hometown. Was this a convenient place to build the airport?
Probably not.
Of course not. Lucky for him, his family property had plenty of rock and gravel for the project, so no cost to him.
Okay.
So between the gravel business and the associative trucking transportation business that he started to keep up with the project, he was employing a heck of a lot of people in town.
Nice.
They loved loved this.
They're going to be loyal.
Yeah, it's not a wealthy area. So soon enough, Badalamenti became the leader of the mafia in Cinisi. That's 1963.
Okay.
According to Giovanni Impastato, brother of slain anti-mafia activist Giuseppe Impastato.
Okay, there you go.
Quote, it seemed that Badalamenti was well liked by the Carabinieri as he was calm, reliable, and always liked to chat. It almost felt like he was doing them a favor and that nothing ever happened in Cinisi. It was a quiet little town. I often used to see them walking arm in arm with Tano Badalamenti and his henchmen. You can't have faith in the institutions when you see the police arm in arm with the mafiosi.
And the Carabinieri aren't just the normal police. They're like the militarized police. They're like the federales of Mexico. They have the machine guns in the airports and the train stations. Yeah. So you're watching like the federal police walk arm in arm with them.
And as an aside, I love when Italian men walk together arm in arm.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And I think it's terribly charming.
It is, completely. And also when they hold hands, too. I like that as well.
I love that. Badalamenti, his run as boss of Cinisi didn't last, though. He got run out of town, actually run out of Sicily by rival mafiosi. That was 1978. So he followed in his brothers. Yeah, that
was a time.
That was the,
A lot of exploding cars.
Yes. He followed in his brother's footsteps and he headed for the States, but he wasn't starting from scratch. He had connections and he used them. See, Badalamenti had deep connections to various drug rings. He knew morphine suppliers in Turkey, and they would process the stuff into heroin in Sicily and then smuggle it into the U.S. He knew Colombians who ran coke from South America to New York. Yep, knew them all. Yeah. And he knew about the network that they used. So in the U.S., pizza shops and other mafia-run businesses from New York to Illinois and Wisconsin, they served as the base of operations. So this wasn't something where people could go in and order a slice with like an extra dusting of parm and like walk out with a slice and a baggie of coke. These were wholesale locations. This is where distributors on both ends met to make deals. Yes. And with also they'd go there to drop off earnings to be washed by the business.
It's like Satriali's pork shop in The Sopranos where they're just meeting to do business.
Just meeting up there. And it's a cash business, baby, so they can wash it. And it wasn't just pizza joints. Bakeries worked too. A successful one was in Queens, and that was owned by Salvatore Toto Catalano. He was a big guy in the Bonanno crime family in New York.
Yeah, Joe Bananas.
Yeah, exactly. So Catalano, he connected Badalamenti with the American mafia. And Badalamenti, he had this whole crew of Sicilians that he ran with.
This is like a Godfather subplot.
Yeah, totally. They were called the Zips, which was a slur used by Italian-American mobsters in reference to newer immigrant Sicilian mafiosi. So Catalano, he would carry around like 40 pounds of heroin in a suitcase. 40 pounds. He took 15 different trips from like Brooklyn to Chicago. He went down to Miami Beach. He got paid $5,000 for each delivery. So that's like $30,000 today. And according to the FBI, quote, from January 1975 until April 1984, an estimated $1.6 billion worth of heroin, 1,650 pounds at the time, was shipped to this country in the plot. The cash profits were then illegally laundered through a web of banks and brokerages in the U.S. and overseas. Okay. In total, the ring, quote, laundered many millions of dollars in drug money, including $20 million sent to Switzerland through trading accounts at E.F. Hutton and Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner, and Smith.
When E.F. Hutton money launders, people listen.
They did, exactly. Those brokerages, not charged with any crime.
Of course not. They never are.
Shocking.
Look at Deutsche Bank.
Right. So there was this undercover FBI agent, Joe Pistone.
Okay.
He infiltrated the Bonanno crime family in 1976, and then he delivered information that went on to bring the whole operation crumbling down. So the feds, they gathered all this evidence and they used just about every investigative tool they had. I'm talking like round-the-clock surveillance on multiple different people across multiple continents.
This is like when Rudy Giuliani was making his name as a U.S. attorney.
Yes, before the hair dye ran down his face.
Yes, back when he was on, the effective side of law enforcement.
Exactly. Thousands of phone calls got monitored, some of which were like payphones in the middle of nowhere. So everyone involved pretty much spoke Sicilian. Yeah. Which is not the same as Italian.
No.
And it wasn't just Sicilian. They spoke in code in Sicilian.
Oh, so they did both their own language. Then they did code words, and then they also had, like, imagine a dialect as well.
Right.
In there.
So you couldn't just translate it over. The
Yeah.
FBI had to assemble this team of like expert translators, code breakers to like work together to pull this all
Create
apart.
a Sicilian enigma machine breaker.
Pretty much. So things started to move in April of 1984. This guy, Pietro Alfano, he was a nephew who was big in the mob in the Midwest. He ran a pizza parlor in Oregon, Illinois. He flew from Chicago to Madrid to meet up with Badalamenti. And Badalamenti was there with his wife and his son, Vito. So the FBI, they're very interested in this trip. So they let the Spanish authorities know just how interested they were. On April 8th, Badalamenti and Alfano, they went for a walk together down the streets of Madrid. It's like so evocative. Boom, there were the Spaniards grabbing them up. And they went and got Vito too.
And they hated drugs at this. The Spaniards
to
coming out
this
of Franco.
The Spaniards have the craziest, like harshest.
Crazy, draconian, especially about heroin.
Yeah. So this triggered action stateside, right? So the next day, the FBI rounded up 30 members of the mafia and various associates who worked with Badalamenti in the U.S. 6 different bureau offices worked together to make the arrest, carry out the search warrants, because they knew as soon as he gets busted in Madrid, they got to take action over here.
Totally.
They got drug paraphernalia, tons of cash, loads of weapons, like documents for days. Badalamenti, he gets extradited to the U.S. in November of 1984. And federal prosecutors had to agree with a request that Spain made. They said that Badalamenti could not be sentenced to more than 30 years in prison because that was the maximum sentence under Spanish law for these cases.
Huh,
so, like, you can't exceed our sentencing. So, like, feds are like, all right, fine, send him over here. So the trial kicks off. The media immediately calls it the pizza connection because of all the pizza parlors that were fronting for the drug sales. And the case was a monster. It was super complex. It all started April 24th, 1985. 22 total defendants, all Sicilian-born men. There was this fellow by the name of Tommaso Buscetta. He was on the stand for 9 days. He was this former Sicilian mafioso who became an informer after he was arrested in Brazil. So according to the New York Times, he spent the time, quote, detailing the structure of the mafia and naming several of the witnesses as mafioso. Buscetta, in a federal witness protection program, was expected to testify at several trials, both in the United States and Italy, involving members and suspected members of the mafia. Another witness was Salvatore Contorno. He was brought in from Italy to testify. And according to the Times, he, quote, appeared at the hearing in a suit, shirt, and tie of contrasting shades of blue and spoke rapidly in Italian.
Oh, you gotta know
He
that.
sounds rad.
Right?
I love him, and I'm sure he's a horrible human being. So he said...
In theory, you love him.
In theory. I love the idea.
Yes, I'm with you.
He said he saw 4 of the defendants, including Salvatore Catalano, at a mafia banquet in Sicily.
Okay.
Which, could you imagine
Can you imagine the food?
Yeah. Oh, and he also saw him at a drug deal involving 40 kilos of heroin. That too. I saw him there too.
Whatever.
Yeah.
40 kilos. It was just a small deal.
They hauled in this Swiss citizen, Paul Varidel. He testified, and he copped to taking in more than $11 million for this Turkish fugitive. That guy was the morphine plug for the Sicilians.
Okay.
And the Swiss guy said, quote, there was a mountain of money. And he talked about how it was like U.S. currency in stacks of 20s, 50s, 100s, filled 6 suitcases. Another suspect testified that he'd taken huge amounts of cash to brokerage firms in Manhattan on behalf of members of the drug ring.
Yeah.
And he said he didn't know at the time that it was drug money. He thought it was something he called black money from restaurants and other places that wanted to avoid taxes by moving the money secretly to Switzerland.
So like under the table money.
Yeah. And so the New York Times recounted his testimony as such, quote, in September 1982, I stopped going to New York to receive money, he said, after an official at E.F. Hutton had disclosed that the FBI was getting interested in our account in the United States. So E.F. Hutton is like, ixnay.
Yeah, come on, you're sweating the feds.
The Times added in, quote, another witness, Salvatore Amendelotto, testified earlier that he had received almost $10 million in cash from 2 men and had secretly transferred it overseas for them. He said he picked up most of the money from Francesco Castronovo, a defendant who formerly owned the Roma restaurant in Menlo Park, New Jersey. So this is pretty much like a classic mafia drug bust.
Yeah.
Albeit with the base of operations being pizza parlors. Let's take a break, but when we come back, I've got some amazing ridiculousness for you.
Yeah.
Zaron,
Elizabeth.
how you doing?
I'm loving this. You didn't mention I had one of my other great interests, pizza.
Pizza. Oh, that is true. And men named Salvatore.
You know I love good
and
Sal.
there's like 15 of them in here. So, you know how when you watch old episodes of Law and Order, see, I'm throwing in another thing you love.
What is it, my birthday?
You basically see the cast of The Sopranos before they became
Yes.
stars. Like that show is thick with New York actors, like destined for greatness. Although I'm not so sure about today. So here's my quick side rant about Law and Order.
Go for
I
it.
love that show.
Yes, I
I love
know.
it. It's my go-to, my comfort watch. Lenny Briscoe doesn't
Saint
get any
Lenny.
better. Saint Lenny. He was the best. Jack McCoy.
Yes.
Amazing.
Come on now.
For the bulk of the first run, because it was canceled and then it came back a few seasons ago, it felt like New York in the
Yes.
beginning. The extras all looked like real people.
They sounded like real
The
people.
actors looked like real people. The storylines were like about real feeling people,
Yeah.
working folks. And they had these amazing actors, some already accomplished who would like dip in for a guest turn, but
Sure.
most were like working New York theater actors
I was
looking
just about
for
to
a
say
big
the
break.
theater actors.
Yeah. And a lot of times Law and Order was the big break. So like casting folks like kept their eyes on who made it, onto the show. Now, though, I feel like every crime involves someone violently rich.
Yes,
like
a lot
the
of
penthouse
billionaires.
set.
Yeah.
Billionaires, venture capitalists, like that. Like you rarely see working people on the show anymore, and the actors have that like LA actorly look.
Oh, yeah, they got veneers.
Veneers, good hair.
I'm like, that's not New York.
No, not at all. And that's not how it was in the earlier seasons. Like where they film in New York feels more like a set than a street now.
Yes. It's
Anyway.
like it's very much like, what is this, the Cosby Show? Like, we just got these Brooklyn brownstones.
Everything's
It's
like clean and yeah.
I miss the grimy.
No one's got an attitude.
Exactly. I want like some punk kids who are mad that they're getting like shaken down outside the bodega.
I want someone loading boxes onto a dolly who like
Yes.
can't stop to talk. He'll
Uh-uh.
answer the questions, but you got to walk and talk for this one.
Exactly. A lot of walk and
So
talks.
New York actors, how do they factor into what I'm talking about today?
I'm so curious, Elizabeth.
Zaron, close your eyes.
Oh, my eyes are closed.
I want you to picture it. You are an actor. Cal St. John, to be exact. You played a Turnbull AC in the movie The Warriors. You do some off-Broadway work, and you're starting to get into casting. Last year, you were an extras casting assistant on the film Prizzi's Honor. You've also been an extras casting assistant on the TV show The Equalizer and the blockbuster movie The Muppets Take Manhattan. It's through your casting work that you got word about this gig. You're sitting in a room off the courtroom in Federal District Court in Manhattan. With you are 3 other actors, Joe Nimmo, Debbie Merrill, and Robert Petito. All of you have theater experience, and that's why you were selected. Of course, you're all getting paid less than $20 an hour for this, but a job's a job, and this is interesting work. There's the muffled sound of the busy courthouse hallway just outside the door. The other door leads to the courtroom itself. You've been running your lines at home for a week or so. You haven't had a chance to rehearse with the other actors yet, though, and it doesn't look like you will have the time to do so. Joe Nimmo is doing vocal exercises and clearing her throat. She's also currently in rehearsals for an off-Broadway play called Immortal Beloved. Or so she told you when you all gathered at the coffee maker in the corner of the room when you first arrived. Robert Petito told you that he's the artistic director of an off-Broadway group called the American Ensemble Company. He's flipping through the pages of his script, highlighting lines and then flipping forward a few pages. I find it very exciting to appear in court instead of on stage, he says. You nod and take a deep breath. Debbie Merrill is in the other corner of the room doing deep stretches and leg lifts. She's humming a tune and she has a huge smile on her face. She told you she's recently played Christopher Reeve's roller skating friend in Marriage of Figaro at the Circle on the Square Theater. She straightens up and tells the room, actors have never been used before in a trial, so this is history. She's right. When the federal prosecutors told you about the job, they explained that you'd be reading transcripts of a pizzeria owner and members of his family talking about money laundering. He said the original conversations of the defendants were in a Sicilian dialect, making it necessary to present the English transcripts to the jury. You asked if you should do an accent. Please don't, he said. He explained that normally prosecutors or court employees would read the transcripts, but there were so many recorded conversations in this case that the task was considered burdensome and boring, and that's where you come in. The judge's clerk pokes her head into the room. They're ready for you, she announces. You get up and shake your arms, ready to put on the performance of a lifetime. Hey guys, you announce to your co-stars, it's very important that we get every word right. The four of you file into the courtroom and everyone is silent. You don't know why, but you'd expected some applause. The guy coughs. You and Robert Petito take your places in chairs just in front of the witness stand. The squeak of the chairs dragging across the floor punctuates the silence. You don't know this, but what you're about to read is considered the most significant evidence against Tano Badalamenti. Today, I'll be reading the part of Mr. Badalamenti, you tell the courtroom. Thank you, Mr. St. John. We'll do the introductions. You nod. The prosecutor repeats what you've said and adds that Mr. Badalamenti was calling from Brazil. He then tells the court that Robert Petito will be reading the transcript of another defendant, Salvatore Mazurco. You begin. I think that by the beginning of next week they will come with 22 parcels or with 11 parcels, whatever you guys prefer. Robert responds to you, his glasses perched on the end of his nose as he looks down at the paper in his hand. All right. Now, there's another thing, you say. I met the guy with the shirts 4 years ago, but there's a little problem. But there's another guy here that there's 10% acrylic. I understand little about this. Robert. But 10% is not bad. The prosecution interrupts you. Please note that the defendants used code words to discuss the purity and price of heroin and cocaine. You continue. A competent individual told me that it is good cotton, but that it contains 10% acrylic. It's not pure cotton. The cost over there will come to 60 cents, whereas the other one will come to more than 90 cents. Robert. The one that is a pure cotton. You look up and see that the gallery of the courtroom is riveted. This is showbiz, baby, and you love it. So, acting. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole, researching
as you are wont to do,
researching these actors, and I absolutely have to share with you the story of Debbie Merrill. She's the roller skating one.
Okay, please.
I'll read to you from her bio on her website, skategreat.com. Quote, as the owner of Debbie Merrill's Skate Great USA, formerly the Glide with Pride School of Skating trademark, located in Santa Monica, California, Debbie has taught thousands of students from all over the world, ages 4 to 84, how to inline skate. She is IISA certified, an award-winning dancer, USFSA silver medalist figure skater, actress, choreographer, and spokesperson. Debbie brings an exciting range of talents to her work. An accomplished actress as well as international roller and ice skating performer, Debbie's appearances include the film LA Story and on Broadway, The Marriage of Figaro, playing the role of Franchette on roller skates. The play's director, Andre Serban, specifically wanted Debbie to choreograph the unique and intricate skating sequence in the play, which were widely hailed up and down the Great White Way. Another precedent-setting performance for Debbie was when she was commissioned by the White House to perform for the American Employees, or Aramco Oil Company in Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
And IE skated, what does that even mean? Skated on a special surface of silicone ice. Debbie is also the first and only award-winning rolling sambista, Brazilian samba dancer on inline skates, and bringing it to the House of Blues in Los Angeles.
A rollerblading sambista on the House of Blues in LA?
I kind of lost my mind with the Aramco reference there.
That just comes out of nowhere.
And then she goes on, she talks about her TV credits, and then she adds, Debbie's list of celebrity clients include Steve Martin, Juliette Lewis, Los Angeles' Mayor Richard Riordan, Gina Davis, Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, Kim Delaney, Downtown Julie Brown, and Melanie Griffith and family. As well as thousands of health-conscious men and women who come from all over the world to Southern California to learn from the very best.
I like that she can brag that she's taught Steve Martin to rollerblade.
Did she teach Dakota Johnson?
Well, and family Elizabeth.
That's
it's
what
right
I'm
there.
hoping. God, I love her. Her photos are so intense.
Oh, right. Her Instagram account.
Oh, my God. Her website.
You showed me that.
I'm a huge fan.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan now.
And you're not being sarcastic in the least. You really do like her stuff.
Oh, no. I'm talking about Debbie.
Oh, I thought you meant Dakota Johnson.
I do love Dakota Johnson.
And her whole fake thing that she's doing.
She's crazy and I love her.
Yeah.
She's bonkers and I love her. But I also, it's Debbie.
Debbie's hand down.
Debbie's the one with the intense photos. Like, oh my
really?
God. Yeah. Like,
I thought you were talking about Dakota Johnson. Did not the one where you showed me her Instagram account where she's got the fake photos she was doing?
Oh, yeah. She had for like Architectural Digest. She hates limes, but they put like a bowl of limes and she just kept talking about how much she loves them.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
She was on, there was a thing recently where she was at some Halloween thing and she's like, I'm Dakota Johnson, dressed as Dakota Johnson. And Dakota Johnson's going to get drunk tonight. Like she's just
so meta.
She's so funny. Debbie.
Yes.
She's okay. I really wish I knew who she got to play in the transcript recordings.
Oh, yeah.
But whatever. Speaking of transcripts, Badalamenti, he admitted that he talked in code on the telephone.
Okay.
But he denied talking about drugs. They're like, well, what were you talking about? He's like, I don't want to say.
Pinochle.
I don't want to talk about it. Salvatore Mazurko, he said they were talking about importing precious gems.
Oh, he's like, it was illegal, but only kind of illegal.
Yeah, and he's like, ixnay.
The good
Just
illegal.
don't tell him anything. The trial went on for 16 months.
What?
It was and is to this day the longest criminal jury trial in U.S. history.
I would hope
16
so.
months.
16 months.
Two
is
defendants
nuts.
of the 22 pleaded guilty.
Okay.
Vincenzo Randazzo, he pleaded guilty to using a false passport. Lorenzo DiVardo, he pleaded to possessing a pistol and a silencer.
Okay.
There were some 1%.
These are penny ante charges.
Oh, yeah. There were some 1% or like near 1% of some of the other defendants. We're not going to discuss that.
Some like suddenly he's gone.
By the time the jury delivered its verdict, March 2nd, 1987, there were 19 defendants. All but one were convicted.
Okay.
And just like the defendant pool kept shrinking, the jury pool did too.
What?
Because the verdict was actually from an 11-member jury. One of the jurors was excused because during deliberations, her family got threatening phone calls.
Huh.
So she's like, can I not do this? They're like, yeah, you're good. You can go.
Really?
So,
I didn't know
enough.
that was an option.
Me neither. I thought
it was like, muscle it out. I don't care. You're a jury member now.
Right? Exactly. Gaetano, the uncle Badalamenti,
Okay.
64, of Cinisi, Italy, former head of the mafia in Sicily.
Yeah.
He got sentenced to 45 years in prison
Oh, he ain't got to make that.
and fined $125,000. Now, remember, he was extradited from Spain, and they were like, you can't give him more than 30.
30 years, yeah.
So the judge was like, all right, I'm going to sentence him to 45, but you got to release him after 30 years. Deal's a deal.
Okay.
But still, he's 94. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Salvatore the Baker Catalano, 46, of Queens. He's the one who headed up the American side of the operation. He was also sentenced to 45 years, but, he wasn't picked up in Spain, so tough for him.
Okay.
And he got a bigger fine, $1.15 million, and he had to pay $1 million in restitution.
Ouch. That's a bite.
Here's another one, another Salvatore the little one, Mazurko, 57, of Baldwin, New York. He got a 35-year sentence, $50,000 fine, had to pay $500,000 in restitution.
I mean, no wonder they have all these great nicknames. They're all named Saul.
Well,
like, you got to just keep people straight.
Salvatore Toto Lamberti.
There you go. Toto Lamberti.
Toto Lamberti, 55, of Woodmere, New York. He got 20 years, $50,000 fined, $500,000 in restitution. His cousin, Giuseppe, the brother-in-law Lamberti.
His nickname's the brother-in-law?
55, of Baldwin, New York. He got 35 years, fined $150,000, ordered to pay $500,000 in restitution. And that's the end of the pizza connection.
Dude.
Or is it?
Ooh, there's more?
After this ad break, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Zaron.
Dude, I'm still thinking about the brother-in-law as a nickname.
The brother-in-law.
That's up there with Vincent the Chin Gigante, but he wasn't known as the Chin. He made sure that people, when they would talk about him, they pointed to their chin so you couldn't get them on the mics.
Nice.
But they knew the feds were listening.
How do you do the brother-in-law?
So the brother-in-law, I mean, that's like, hey, the brother-in-law.
Sal, the brother-in-law.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great one.
Yeah, so it wasn't just New York that had a pizza connection. Washington, D.C. wanted in on it too. And the feds wanted in on busting it. So that investigation started in 1984 and became public in 1987. And the trial took place in January of 1990. And this time it was just an 11-day trial. Didn't go on as long.
The brief.
You know who was in on this? Salvatore Cotone.
Another Sal.
Yeah, a Sicilian who moved to Virginia Beach. He played the part, like, in his daily life of this, like, patriotic immigrant in love with his new home and loves truth and justice.
Is he like a plumber or something?
Yeah.
What was his front?
Well, you're going to find out. So James Glass Jr., a federal agent, he was like, that's not true. He's not a good man. And I'm going to hunt him down. He was so set on dismantling the Cotone organization that he asked to be taken off the desk and put back in the field to do it.
Damn. He's like, I'll take a pay cut. I don't care.
Right. According to the Washington Post, quote, the investigation exposed a ring of Sicilian natives trying to push cocaine through local pizza parlors, torching restaurants that competed with friends' businesses, contracting hits on enemies of the Cotone family, and financially devastating loyal friends who trusted their life savings to Sal Cotone.
Oh.
So Cotone, he came to the States in 1966 when he was just 19 years old. By the mid-70s, he'd made his way to D.C., and it was there, according to the Post, that he, quote, found a town hungry for pizza and virtually free of competitive crime families. It was just wide open spaces.
Hungry for pizza and free of crime families. How did you figure that one out, Washington Post?
So Cotone, he opened his restaurant and immediately had beef with competitors. Basson's was this like fashionable downtown restaurant on 14th Street Northwest.
Okay.
And it was doing bang up business. And Cotone is like, not on my watch. So he came up with a way to fix the situation. He hired Alfredo the Butcher Torriello.
Oh, that's a bad nickname.
Yeah, to burn Basson's to the ground. And then so Torriello and this other guy, they filled soda cans with gasoline and then just torched the joint. But what about the drugs, Zaron?
What about the drugs, Elizabeth?
Cotone was all about it. He did huge multi-kilo cocaine deals. And these went down at like the Holiday Inn in Crystal City.
Yes.
A Denny's in Fairfax, Virginia. The Commonwealth Doctors Hospital in Fairfax.
How about a Howard Johnson's in Arlington?
You know, the Hojos, who knows? The FBI was on him pretty early on, and he loved it.
Really?
Like, he got a kick out of evading them and like toying with them.
He liked the attention.
Yeah, he
liked to be watched.
Like, I'm a little afraid of Agent Glass. Like, I pee a little bit. But then he referred to him as, quote, my shadow. And he would pretend to want to cut deals for information with him. So Glass, he's like this 16-year veteran of the FBI at the time. He testified that Cotone approached him a bunch of times offering information because he wanted to cut a deal to free his brother, Giuseppe Cotone.
Okay.
Quote, I was surprised that someone who claimed to be so innocent had so much access to criminal information, Glass said.
I just happen to know interesting people.
So what could Cotone deliver in exchange for his brother's freedom?
What could he deliver,
Thank
Elizabeth?
you for asking.
How do we get Giuseppe free?
Thank you. He promised a man who was marketing a cache of stolen American arms. He's like, I've also got a Greek who's got a bunch of the district's drug trade. Oh, and then there's this plumber from Manassas who's got a boat on the Potomac, a home in Florida, and a penchant for huge drug deals.
Yeah,
I got a
now
bunch
we
of them.
talking.
And Glass is like, I want something a little bit more. It's not just mobsters who can come up with a crafty plan. So can the FBI. So Glass, he recruited this guy, Vincenzo Hakanjan. And Vincenzo told Cotone that he could put a hit on the guy who set up Cotone's brother, Giuseppe, and sent him to jail.
Okay.
This guy, Lanfranco Casali.
Now that's a name.
Yeah, so
Lanfranco.
Vincenzo's like, I can put a hit out on Lanfranco Casali. It's going to cost you $5,000, and you got to get me a drug hookup. And so Cotone's like, sounds like a deal to me. Like,
no problem.
I'll take that.
I happen to know lots of drug connects.
Exactly. And I got $5,000 floating around. So in October of 1988, Vincenzo, he shows Cotone pictures of this bloody body, and he hands him Casale's favorite medallion. Like, I did the job.
Yeah.
Here's your proof.
Yeah.
What does Cotone say to him? God bless America. That's what his line was. The thing was, the photo is fake. So Glass, the agent, covered the guy in tomato paste and took a picture.
Really? It was convincing.
And they got him a duplicate medallion, and they got him over.
It wasn't even the real one.
And then there they were in court. And it was called Operation Infamita. Huge success. Infamita translates to a violation of the Sicilian Code of Silence.
Oh, yeah. So you broke omerta.
Right. Infamita.
Infamita.
Not to be confused with Infanta, the Decemberist song.
I did not make that mistake, but you might have.
I did a couple times. I was like, oh, no way. And I had to listen to it. It took...
Take a little side break.
It took 6 years, but the feds did it. At trial, Cotone, he denied that he knew any of the Infamita defendants. Mm-hmm. He was like, I've never financed any drug deals. I've never, put out contracts on anyone. Have I ever had a restaurant torched? Absolutely not.
I've never even eaten pizza.
God bless America. He said that after his brother Giuseppe was arrested, that he made up crimes and connections just to keep the FBI interested in him, because he was like hoping to craft a deal to get his brother out. This is what he testified, quote, "The game was, if the fire goes up, I put a little water on it. If it goes down, I put a little wood on it." Oh. Huh. Either way, Cotone gets convicted by a federal jury of racketeering, conspiracy, retaliation against an informant, 11 other felonies. But there's more, Zaron.
Yeah, I love more, Elizabeth.
In 1988, the year after the initial Pizza Connection convictions, the FBI wanted to, according to the New York Times, quote, capitalize on mafia paranoia after the pizza case, realizing that those who escaped that roundup would be looking for opportunities outside the New York City area. The agents decided to lure traffickers to Buffalo through the BSC storefront.
Huh. Like they're scrambling. Let's give them an option to run to.
So BSC was the Buffalo Sicilian Connection.
Okay.
And it was this Italian food import-export company located in a strip mall outside of Buffalo.
A strip mall, okay.
So word got around that they trafficked in more than tomato sauce and olive oil. They could hook you up with wholesale heroin.
That it is an ingredient.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all natural. Yes. So BSC tested the import route. They had a shipment of 744 cans of tomatoes from Italy sent to the storefront. Mm-hmm. The feds knew about this, though, so they made sure that customs passed the shipment through without inspecting it. Mm-hmm. So BSC was like, the route's clear. Like, whatever we ship isn't going to be inspected by customs. So there was this informant and an undercover FBI agent. The two of them, they went to Palermo, Naples, Rome. They met with contacts from the Greco clan that was allied with the Corleonesi branch of the Sicilian mafia. Okay. And they set up the drug shipments. I love that this is basically an FBI drug smuggling ring at this point. Yeah. Like, they're in every element of it. A contact in San Francisco led the undercover operatives to associates in New York. And they were based in the Cafe Giardino in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, which was owned by none other than Giuseppe Gambino, a nephew of Carlo Gambino, late patriarch of the
Gambino crime family.
Gambino crime family.
One of the great five.
Right. So, of course, the feds, they set up bugs in the cafe. Per the New York Times, quote, one bug picked up many conversations that the FBI said established the criminal nature of the undertaking. It also picked up the sound of money being counted and stuffed into a shirt, and at one point, an underling being slapped around for failing to keep up loan shark payments, the FBI said. The bug recorded derogatory references to law enforcement officers. Giuseppe Gambino called them fools, and once speculated that the Italian authorities had relaxed their vigilance. So
he called us fools.
getting slapped around, and they like play it in court. Anyway, so undercover agents, they were trying to get a 100-kilo shipment of coke in from Colombia, but it kept falling through. And the feds, they decided to close in because the mob was like starting to get suspicious.
Yeah,
and
you're going to lose
like,
your momentum.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So according to the Times, quote, "We whispered in their ear and kissed on their necks too much," one supervisor said by way of explaining how the agents had tried to mollify the sellers. When no more excuses would do, the FBI ordered the arrest.
What kind of metaphor is that, sir?
Whispering, ooh, smoochy,
Kissing on their neck. Like,
give them some sugar. They busted 208 suspects.
wow, 208?
Yeah, 75 in the U.S., the rest in Italy. All were charged with running heroin and cocaine rings that supplied millions of dollars worth of drugs to networks all over the U.S. and Europe. Among those arrested were Giuseppe Gambino and this guy, Nigel Seven Subia, who was the son of Sue Subia, the High Commissioner to Britain from Mauritius.
Okay, I was wondering about that name.
All
Subia.
these other people connected to the pizza connection.
Okay.
But there's more.
Yes.
In 1994, the FBI announced that the famous original Ray's Pizza on 3rd Avenue near 43rd Street in New York was actually the headquarters for a major drug ring. And this was a little different. This pizzeria gang didn't just import coke from Colombia to sell to cokeheads in New York. They used New York as like this transit stop to deliver drugs to 3 organized crime groups in Italy. And that's because cocaine was selling for 3 times what it cost in New York. So there's way more money to be made.
Yeah.
So the pizza parlor gang, they worked with 2 other groups of like loosely affiliated traffickers. 2 of those worked out of a cafe and a butcher shop, like Satrial's, in Brooklyn, as well as their houses in Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island. The pizzeria was running like tens of millions of dollars worth of cocaine and heroin through the place.
Do you think that the mafia
Hold the pepperoni.
picked the pizzerias so they could be like, if either you're harassing them, you're like, come on, this is a stereotype that Italians having pizzerias
we
would
can't
be
have
in the crime. Come on now.
Oh, hit the Drupini. So this went on for 3 years at this joint. But then authorities in both the U.S. and Italy, they rounded up 79 suspects all overnight.
I always like that they round up like a factory of people.
Yes, exactly. And all these like major hits, and they charge them with drug conspiracies. The New York Times detailed their own investigative reporting.
Okay.
Quote, "A thin man in a white shirt and a red apron who was at the cash register at famous original Ray's Pizza said he knew nothing about any drugs or arrests, but he offered to pass on a message to the Ambrosios, the 3 brothers who own the franchise and had recently been arrested, if they phoned in." So this old guy is just manning the front. The feds said the Ambrosios, they had just started on a plan to get the coke directly from Colombia to Italy. And that was a little bit trickier, as one shipment was intercepted at the Bogota airport.
Oh, wow.
168 kilos of coke was hidden in crates of cut flowers that were supposed to be taken to Italy on an Alitalia flight.
Because most of the flowers are grown in Bogota.
Exactly.
Or Medellin.
Yeah. And some of the time, though, they just used the mail, which I have to say that Italian post is notoriously unreliable.
Yes.
Like, when you're in Rome, they say that it's best to send any postcards or letters at the Vatican.
Okay.
Instead of using Italian mailboxes, because they
can totally
have
see
reliable post.
Yeah.
Because it's a separate country. Italian mail can take months for it to get anywhere. But the smugglers, they weren't worried. They sent some of the cocaine to Italy through the mail. FBI agents followed pizza parlor workers at once as they went to the post office. They watched these 2 guys hand a cardboard box sealed with tape to a clerk. The men leave. The agent sees the box. Inside, like on the custom slip, it said 3 shirts, 4 pairs of pants, 10 bars of deodorant soap, 3 containers of baby talc, 4 bedspreads, and 12 baby towels. They open it up, 3 kilos of coke.
That's it.
Yeah, busted.
So like when you're shaking it around or you move the box, nothing feels soft. Nothing. It's just not a lot of stuff. Just
cocaine.
3 kilos of...
So, Zaron, what's your ridiculous takeaway? But first, does this make you want some pizza?
Oh my God, I'm so hungry. You have no idea. I'm not sure if you remember this. Like, I'm trying. I wish I could remember it better. But there was like a tweet. I think it was a tweet. It was about this guy who went to a pizza place and he tries to order a pizza and the guys look at him like, Well, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah, sure. And it takes him a half an hour to make the pizza. There's nobody else in the restaurant. He says he's got the best pizza he'd ever had.
Yes.
He's like, I'm pretty sure that was a money laundering place. I think it was a coke laundering place.
Probably.
Based on the stories.
Yeah.
And I remember like my father telling me some of the details of the story, the Pizza Connection trial, because it is like the longest trial. And also I knew an Alfano who was worried that they would be the people to remember this, and that they would think that, hey, you're one of those like Italians who are involved in this. And I was like, I hate to break it to you, but Alfano is not that kind of name that's going to stick out. You know, But I love how they, using the pizzerias, and like I said earlier, it's like a stereotype. It's like the Italian opera lovers. It's like, of course, you're doing this through that
pizza parlor.
So mine is, I would like it if the Italian mafia, if they're still involved deeply in cocaine and money laundering, we'll just, give them the benefit of the doubt. If they would pick something like video game parlors and do through that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, you don't really see that going, but then it's like, of course, and the Mario Brothers, why didn't we see this coming? So what about you, Elizabeth? What would yours be?
I am now, I've decided that if I think a restaurant is a front, I'm going to go in.
Oh, yeah, because it's going to be good food.
Yeah, and then if I walk in and it's a bunch of dudes in members only jackets sitting at a table and they stare at me and they say, we're closed, I'm like, oh, okay, duly noted. So that's my takeaway. You know what I would love?
What was that, Elizabeth?
Talk back.
Oh, with a side of pizza?
Mm-hmm.
Talk back.
Oh my God, did he just say that?
OMG.
I just heard about a crime that is absolutely perfect for your show. Modern day, some guys in disguises break into the Louvre using a moving truck and a ladder, get away with royal jewels on mopeds. In fact, it's a little too perfect for your show. One thing I didn't see was a description of these getaway drivers. Were they perhaps golden retrievers in sunglasses? Rude dudes? Did you guys finally pull an art heist?
Wait, no, we did not pull an art heist.
And if we did, we would not admit to it because we're going to have respect for our interns. We're not going to just sell them down the river like that.
But wait, hold on. Dave's giving me a signal. We have another one.
Hey, Zaron. Hey, Elizabeth. Yeah, those are the right names. I was just wondering, did you guys rob the Louvre? I know it's been a minute since I've listened to you guys, and I'm slowly catching up, but did you guys rob the Louvre?
First of all, we would rob the British National Museum before the Louvre.
Yes,
just out of respect for the Louvre.
Here's the thing. Yeah. The moment this story broke, we were inundated with messages like carrier pigeons, everything, telegrams. Everyone was reaching out and like, you have to do this, you have to do this. But I was like, we have to, as you were saying. The
brand is strong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. As you were saying, like, we need an act 3. Like, we don't know what's happened. And it's information slowly dribbling out.
Mm-hmm. Some people are getting busted
and there's like the hubba guy who's involved, like the gorgeous, thief.
Oh, I thought you meant the detective, the well-dressed dapper detective.
There's the dapper detective, which it turns out he's not the detective, but we're all going to pretend he is.
Yeah, we just see he looks like it.
The whole thing is just so amazing. And so it will happen. But then when when the news broke, I thought this is too perfect for this is something that we would make up.
Yeah.
And then I realized they're all going to think we did it.
Well, maybe we did.
I can't tell you where I've been. I can't let you see my passport.
Yes, I actually have 2 passports for a good reason.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that one! I can't wait. I can't wait till we get all the details, and then can share it.
I can't wait till we get all the details. Wink, wink,
wink, wink,
and share them.
Yeah, when the rude dudes, the dogs finally.
Because who would ever want to rob the Louvre? Why would you do that? What a brilliant plan!
We've said too much. That's it for today. You can find us online at ridiculouscrime.com. Do you know that we just won an award?
For the what? Website. The website did?
Uh-huh. The Clean Plate Club.
Yeah.
We also are at Ridiculous Crime on Blue Sky, Instagram, YouTube. You can find us at Ridiculous Crime Pod. You can email ridiculouscrime@gmail.com. Please leave a talk back on the iHeart app. We love hearing from you that way. Reach out. Ridiculous Crime is hosted by Elizabeth Dutton and Zaron Burnett. Produced and edited by Capo di Tutti Frutti Dave Kustin. Starring Annalise Rutger as Judith. Research is by Pete Ciala, Marissa Brown, and sauce distributor Jabari Davis. The theme song is by two guys who wandered in looking for a slice, Thomas Lee and Travis Dutton. Host wardrobe is provided by Botany 500. Guest hair and makeup by Sparkleshot and Mr. Andre. Executive producers are Hawaiian Pizza truthers Ben Boland and Noel Brown.
Ridiculous crime.
Say it one more time.
Ridiculous crime.
Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.